from the communist country of Canada in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies. I'm going to do a quick little video regarding the ostrich farm in British Columbia, where the government decided to go onto private property, and the police, the ones just following orders, the cowards, the so-called policemen, Freemason Jesuits that wear police badges, guarded not only the ostrich farm land, but the land next to it. They seized it under health orders. The ostriches had a herd immunity from some sort of something that I can't mention on this platform. Hi, Ben. Great to see you, brother. And K-Man. Oh, thanks. That's very nice. Blessings to you. All 7 in the chat. How about now? Hello. Hello. I'm back. Censorship is real. Hi, Ghost Vision. So, once again, me and Oliver and Wrinkles and my wife are upset because they murdered those ostriches in that ostrich farm for no reason whatsoever. So, the real news is that that herd immunity from those surviving birds that supposed had something that I can't mention on this platform, and they were perfectly healthy. And they wanted to study them to see how their immunity recovered from this supposed something or other. This is no more than psychological hate bait. And the thugs we call police doing this. But sometimes when I'm home alone, I like to go in my garden and cover myself with dirt and pretend I'm a potato. Okay, I'm really happy for you. So they literally destroyed all those ostriches to make a point that we could come on your land, we could take your livestock, and this happened in World War II as well. They started culling all these animals and saying, oh, sorry, we got food shortages. Don't forget that the first pandemic on March 11th, that they called the Spanish flu, and then the second pandemic on March 11th was nothing more than a contrived event to destroy and depopulate the world. Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, 20 divided by 30 is 666. And Clade X exercise, a plandemic exercise, was exactly 666 days before the World Health Organization announced a plandemic. Can only hear me, but you can't see me. Okay, let me try this again. Can you see me now? Hi, Mike. Blessings to you. Can everybody see me now? Let me know. Okay, good. So basically, they killed all of these ostriches. They seized the land of the farmers and the farmers next to this land with over 20 policemen and all of the British Columbia health agencies, and they're all traitors, murderers. Can't see me? Yeah, one guy here says I look like Robert Downey Jr. Huh, thanks. Yeah. So, hi, Remnant Truth. Blessings to you. I would try to exit this and then enter again, and you might be able to see me. Hey, Maine. Hey, Dave. Great to see you. So, they've done this in World War I, World War II, and every major event is they try to control the people with food and with propaganda. America's in real trouble and Canada's in real trouble. You're going to see boots on the ground, and you are most certainly going to see civil unrest. So prepare. Prepare and be ready for this. Say hi in the live chat. Yeah, blessings. Yeah, SOS police state. So they went into this ostrich farm because they had something. And then they were tested and they were perfectly healthy. And then they were asked to test them again and they didn't. And then they started starving them and they coerced the owners. And this is nothing more than communism, full-blown thuggery. It breaks my heart to know that these people and all of their livelihood is gone because of some thugs, some communist politicians, and some Freemason Jesuit policemen. No matter how you put a spin on this, when the government overreaches and decides that you can't eat and produce food in your own country, money launders your tax dollars overseas without your permission, and that's what it is, it's money laundering. At some point, America and Canada are going to wake up and they're going to realize that there is no more money and that the Zionists, the ones that own Vanguard, BlackRock, and Wayfair, which own Walmart and own all of the media and all of the food distributors, and that we are being starved out to the point of civil unrest, that they would bring in United Nations and call martial law. No matter how many laws or edicts they put in paper, it ain't going to change the fact that they have no authority to murder us and destroy our economies and the people in these countries. This is so caca. So we've got some trolls and bots in the chat, and you're all welcome here. So I've received information that suggests that Canada's ready to remove this government. They released their budget, and they're basically promising billions of dollars of debt, yet they're giving billions of dollars away. And if this isn't hate baiting or race baiting or incitement and gaslighting to create Canadians to the point of removing their own government, I don't know what is. At some point, you wake up one morning and you realize our governments are insane. They're sociopaths. They're doing all of this stuff, massive immigration, and massive psychological operations, to bring people to this state of wanting to take action and wanting to remove their governments. Hi, Nugs Money. Blessings. So look at it this way. When you see the governments that are doing this stuff and they're not even hiding it anymore, the last bastion of a well-armed society is Canada and America. Sorry, but it's true. Australia gave up their guns. England and Ireland gave up their guns. China, during the communist takeover, they gave up their guns. And without guns, you can't remove your government. So this is nothing more than psychological hate bait to create civil unrest. It's very obvious. They're not elections, they're selections. You're not going to win this by voting it out. Every solicitor general, every premier in every province, and in America, that would be every voted in governor in every state, is committing murder, sedition, treason, and genocide. And this has been happening for quite some time in history. As far back as I went, at first I thought only to the 1400s, but it goes way back. Blessings, everyone. No, voting is not going to fix it. Middletown, Ohio, blessings to you. Yeah, like and sub everyone here, 136 in the chat. So once again, just to bring you bad news, that the ostrich farm in British Columbia, Canada, they went there and killed every one of those animals. And our government, Canada, is absolutely a rogue. 400 ostriches were murdered. In Geneva law of war, this very specific language, they're a rogue, belligerent, invading force using fifth generation warfare. That's psychological, financial, physical, and emotional warfare. And the fifth generation warfare that is being imposed on the entire world is disinformation and misinformation. And the censorship in Canada is off the charts. They made it illegal to speak ill of Israel, which is a Zionist state from the Balfour Declaration that is promoting global genocide. In the prophetic utterances, it says, the Hura Babylon sits where they had crucified him and will be utterly laid waste. If you're wondering why the whole world's going to go against Israel, it's because the Zionists, the ones that worship the Talmud, not the Torah, not the Tanakh, the Ten Commandments, the law, they worship a man-made doctrine right out of the pit of hell. They're Babylonian. We see the Vatican playing the role of bringing in Noahide law and Sunday law worship and a new world order, a one world government, United Nations, and a one world religion called Chrislam. In every one of the last free nations, Western civilizations in the world, you have a very consistent enemy, the government. Bringing in massive immigration, voter fraud, manipulation of the media. All your media is fake. All your sports are fake. It's all give them bread and circus while they murder you. This great reset that Klaus Schwab has announced unto the world, saying, you will own nothing and be happy. And his sidekick, a known homosexual / hate-filled malevolent Noval Harari, saying, humans are hackable creatures. Your days of freedom and voting are over. Unquote. With traitors like Justin Trudeau saying, you old white stuck Canadian, we find you quite offensive and will replace you. Unquote. Right out of the mouth of the homosexual, transgender Justin Trudeau and Mark Carney and his son or daughter, depending on what it is. This isn't race baiting. It's not bigotry. It's a fact that every one of these world leaders are affiliated with the transgender deity, Esther, that they worship Baphomet and Moloch or Moloch, and they murder and sacrifice these children unto idols. Our children. This Baal worship in the statue of Moloch in Bohemian Grove, California, and these monsters that are putting these arches up, if you know what I mean, all over the world in Baal worship, it is alive and well. And 800,000 children in America go missing alone. That's a soccer stadium, a football stadium filled with children that go missing every year. We're faced with the governments of the world and the military-industrial complex and your policemen and your police chiefs and your lawyers and your doctors with the Freemasons are in on this murder, sedition, treason, and genocide. And unless you stand up and unless you start praying and prepping, nothing will happen. The intervention of our Father will occur, and these monsters will burn, and they will be replaced, and they will lose this war. We win this war by sharing information, by speaking truth and calling it out for what it is. It's murder, sedition, it's treason to allow all of these immigrants into your country, taking your tax dollars and money laundering it to Ukraine or to Venezuela or whatever. When they spend billions of dollars on war and money laundering your tax dollars without your permission to transgender studies in India or whatever nonsense they tell you, it's sedition. Period. Very strong language, but true. They're Freemasons. There's one lodge in every city and town and state in America and every province in Canada and in Europe and in England and in France and in Germany, in Ireland, in Australia, New Zealand. You will find a Freemason lodge with a checkerboard floor and all of the traitors that you go bowling with that unbeknownst to you and every other Freemason under 33 degrees make it very clear. They worship Lucifer, the morning star, supposedly. They worship Luciferian doctrine. And they're bringing about their one world government as the governments are saying a new world order. In the American dollar bill, a new world order. Out of order chaos. They just erected Albert Pike's statue where he quoted saying, we'll have a third world war. And it'll bring about atheistic Satan religion because people will lose faith in Christianity, they lose faith in Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, and the crescendo to their end game is bringing in this Luciferian New World Order. You could go read the letters. You could listen to some of the podcasts that suggest these things. There's millions and millions of hours of evidence all over the internet telling you the same thing. One world government, one world religion, one world currency. Where in UK, they said, we're bringing in digital ID and you won't get a job without it. We're bringing in digital currency. And if you don't like it, we'll just starve you out. United Nations said openly, if you don't accept pedophilia, or sorry, let me rephrase their rebranding to minor attracted peoples because it's a sexual orientation, you'll be excluded from society if you don't accept the fact that they like raping little children. According to the Talmud, it's perfectly fine to rape a goyim, meaning a stranger from another land, meaning non-Jewish, which there is no such thing, non-Harzarian, Talmudic Zionists. If you don't like that they like raping children, you're just going to be excluded from society. The Statue of Liberty is a statue of Lucifer. You will see the chain on its foot broken, that it is in its zenith as we speak. This is the age of deception. This one says here, I am evil. Oh, I am not evil. The people that I speak about are evil. The ones creating this new world order, this Zionist takeover of humanity, destroying, lying, murdering, stealing land. The largest exchange of wealth in human history is before you. COVID-19, spelt backwards, DVOC, to be possessed. 19, Certificate of Vaccination, ID, AI. Look in Gematria. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Nothing to do with paganism. The worship of an Ashtaroth pole is a Christmas tree. The worship of an Easter egg on Easter, dipped in the children's blood, is pagan. These serious rituals that people would consider Christian holidays is paganism.
You're waking up.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the other thing, Ghost Vision. that they now will not give a maximum sentence for pedophiles, but if you sell unpasteurized milk, you could get up to 10 years in jail. Make that make sense. Pedophiles, no problem. Selling organic materials, big problem. Speaking ill of Israel, big problem. But raping children, no problem. Distributing child pornography on the internet, no problem. Welcome to Canada, where they promote suicide and pay for it, where a quart of milk is $8. A box of Cheerios in Tuktoyaktuk or in Inuvik is $30 for a box of Cheerios. Soon, the food will be so overly priced and scarce that people are going to start killing each other because they're starving. And they're being starved by their own governments in America and Canada and everywhere else. Prepare. Pray without ceasing. Help one another. Reach out to one another. Be the light of the world. Continue waking people up. Peacefully protest. Stand up and say no. Here's a little kitten. And here's Oliver. And he hasn't eaten the kitten yet, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to go now. Yes, keep him in your heart. Yes, have faith, have love, have truth. Fight the good fight with speech, love, wake people up, continue helping people, continue praying and prepping. Get your money out of the bank. If you have any chance to liquidate your items to tangible, tradable commodities like medical supplies, camping gear, matches, books on how to survive, the power's going out. And when it goes out, there will be civil unrest because people, when they get hungry and desperate, it's going to get ugly. Stay away from densely populated areas and low-lying tsunami areas. This message has been very consistent. I've been doing this since George Floyd riots. It's the same message. Don't trust your governments. Nobody is going to save us but our Father in heaven and each other. We need to be the light of the world. We need to help each other. We need to continue waking people up. That's the game plan. It says, therefore, comfort one another, help one another. Don't trust these belligerent, rogue forces that have invaded our country, called United Nations, called World Economic Forum, Freemasons, and the Jesuits out of the Vatican. They are committing murder, sedition, treason, and genocide. May you be blessed. May this message find you. Share this message. Share this channel. I love you all so much. Be at peace.